Hey guys, Andrew Politis here, and today I've got a two-part video. It's going to be a long one. So I wanted to talk to you about New York. New York and its comparison to Toronto. So New York's actually got some of the highest paid jobs in the country. So almost 30% of people living in New York are making over six figures. So the average salary for somebody in New York is just over $69,000. So quite a bit of money. I'm going to keep spitting some facts at you, but let me know if you see any similarities here as I'm talking about New York specifically, and any of those, especially if you living in Toronto, you're going to definitely pick up some similarities. So like I said, average salary is over $69,000. 30% of people in New York are making over $100,000. They actually have some of the highest taxes and cost of living in the country. So some apartments are as small as 260 square feet. I know in Toronto I've seen some around 350. The cost of living 129% higher than the national average. So definitely expensive to live in New York. Now, if you want to get around the city, and you want to buy a monthly public transit because you can't afford the parking, just like Toronto, it's actually some of the highest. It's the fifth most expensive globally in terms of a public transportation ticket. 1 month of public transit is going to set you back $121 US. That's insane. So housing's at 369% higher than the national average. So again, what else does that remind you of? Right, there's definitely a lot of similarities about New York and Toronto. The average renter in New York pays $3,667 a month, and that's for an apartment with no amenities, so not a condo. A Manhattan studio apartment costs $2,550. So just for a studio. And the reason I brought this all up and how it ties into Toronto is I've been looking at Toronto condos lately, just with some clients, and a 2-bedroom condo in Toronto is going to be about just over $4,000 a month. And what's really crazy is that's actually, at least you're getting utilities for that. Or sorry, not utilities, you're getting amenities for that. So a swimming pool and whatnot, whereas in New York, you're not. But a 1-bedroom in New York, $3,667. And that's US dollars too, so add another 35% of that. So 1 bedroom in Manhattan, 1 bedroom costs about $3,100 a month. And the average age of these buildings, these New York apartments, is 90 years old. So a lot of these buildings are over 100 years old, and they're still charging $3,100. So think about the original landlords who bought these properties, have owned them for some time now, and they're just raking in the dough. So thinking about Toronto and Southern Ontario real estate, I mean, getting in now and waiting for things to explode definitely could work for you, and creating generational wealth. So how are people getting by and how are people surviving in New York? Well, in New York, 40% of adults that are in their homes and renting have a roommate. 40% of adult renters have a roommate. An average studio, if you want to get outside of Manhattan and go a little bit further into some of the boroughs, an average studio in Brooklyn is $2,175. So crazy stats. I know I threw a lot of stats at you. But wait till the next video. I'm going to start talking about some of the resolutions and what New Yorkers are doing to solve this problem. And we're going to talk about micro apartments. All right? Talk to you soon. Bye.